Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of WakesetGO. I'm your host, Mercedes, digital marketer, here to charge up the CEO in you. Now, I know it's been a minute. We've already welcomed in a new year. It's 2025. With the recent election, having a new president in office, it has a lot of business owners and freelancers, contractors, and just your everyday person really caught up in how can I survive in this economy? What are the things I need to do? What are the business moves that I need to make to be the most successful during this term? Well, I've done some research, and today's episode, I'm going to break down a couple of tips to be able to make it and survive in pretty much any economy, the mindset that you need to have, as well as some of the tools needed to equip you for success. Now, mindset is everything. Whenever I talk to fellow entrepreneurs, whenever I get a chance to get to know what lights them up, what their passion is, and how much they love their business and all the problems that they're able to solve, I just think back to the mindset that an entrepreneur has. Most entrepreneurs, when you think about it, they're resilient, they are very persistent, they don't give up that easily, and they never stop believing, and they're very optimistic. So, if you are an entrepreneur or trying to be an entrepreneur and you are open to new ideas, you have a creative mind, you are able to tune out noise, then I think you'll be able to survive in any economy because when people think that, okay, this is being taken away, this is not going to happen, having a creative mind lets you to create a solution and also attract the right kind of community because oftentimes there's not a lot of chances to network with like-minded people because everybody has differing views. Some people believe that it's risky to go into business or to buy and invest right now, but I think that the right time to do anything is in the now. There are tons of times when I look back and I think about Bitcoin being at a certain price. Like just think like a couple of years ago, it was at $9,000. And now Bitcoin is almost well over six figures. And so when we want to make a change in our thinking and take risks to get a certain kind of outcome, you have to be able to believe in what those investments look like. What does the future look like? Is everything going to be centered around technology? Yes. The way that this election outcome and some of the results that I'm seeing is that they're going to be a chance and opportunity for AI. And in some of our older episodes, we talked about AI and the future of it and the buildup of it. So if you're able to find companies, or if you're a person that's an AI enthusiast, now may be the time to really educate yourself and be able to educate others on how to use AI, how to maximize your business and automate some of those tasks. Now, again, I still am a believer that we're going to need humans to manage AI. So, going back to the mindset, having that positive mindset as well as realistic mindset is going to be important. So if you're fearful that I'm going to lose my job to robots or AI, then you may need to change your perspective to think, okay, this is going to allow me to provide a solution to a problem where people may not understand AI. This is still new for a lot of people. This is an opportunity for me to educate them on what AI is and what AI is not, because artificial intelligence has been around for a while. And you'll be surprised to know a lot of companies like Google, for instance, they use a lot of machine learning to automate their tasks. I was doing some research in one of my study lessons on Google where they use predictive analysis, where they're able to make decisions for their company based off of machine learning and studying trends, studying historical data where they know if a person is going to quit their job or not. And that kind of technology helps Google's human resource department area to be able to know when to hire someone. So just think about yourself as a company, and you're going to turn down using AI to help you to make those business decisions to forecast the future. You may be missing out on, again, an opportunity. And there's still a need for your human gut decision making skills, but don't miss out on any type of technology that has been proven to make better decisions for yourself. Now, with using historical data, that goes back to the investments I was talking about with Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, if you study, we don't really have that much data, but over the course of the years of seeing it go up and down, the same thing can be proven with other stocks and companies, be it in medical research or something around technology, robotics. We can see the historical trends. That's why so many people in finance, they're able to look at data and tell us where to invest our money. And that if you invest a certain amount every month, that when you get to retirement, you're going to have this amount, and they're confident about it. And the reason why they're confident is because they're using historical data to make those kind of decisions. So let's just take a step back and think from the beginning of this podcast episode. And what I want everybody to get out of this is to think about your mindset, use the data, use the information that we have, the technology, all the resources to make those decisions and help you to make those decisions as well for your business or for yourself. And also don't be shocked or surprised that other big billion-trillion-dollar companies are using these systems, are invested in these systems as well. So when it comes to thinking, what should I invest in? What kind of business should I be running? Or how can I best optimize my business? Always look at it from a forecasting and outlook standpoint. There's, again, a lot of news circulating around DEI and those efforts where companies are rebranding, where they don't want to be associated with DEI efforts. Just recently, it was announced that Target is no longer wanting to represent the DEI efforts, and that can play a big role on their target audience, especially people that were invested in going to Target because of their stance on situations. And so this may change how buyers, supporters look at Target. Now, there's also been news media around Costco. They made an announcement there. They are not going to back off of their DEI efforts. And that may, again, bring on new supporters and continue for them having the same customer base as well. Because when you are a consumer and you're supporting a product, sometimes it's hard for you to come up with an alternative for a place that you just genuinely love. And for other people, it could be very easy to change their stance with a company based off of their political views, their political ties, when it can affect them as a person. So when we're going in our business, or when as a company or as an entrepreneur, you're thinking about, okay, how can I represent my business online? Some people, that's why they don't tell who they support politically, because they have consumers that will stop spending their money with them, that will make those bold decisions based off of how a company presents themselves online. I, for one, believe that there's a lot of miseducation, miscommunication around what DEI is and what it isn't. I have another episode where I talked about it and how we need to, especially as business owners, take accountability and researching and understanding different cultures, understanding what different languages mean, because when you're going about presenting a product to people, it's very important to have your brand messaging clear, because what statement that you may release could mean something totally different to a different consumer with a different background. And they may read it completely differently than someone from a different geographic location. The terminology can be misconstrued. So you really want to be careful about the type of language that you're using when you're releasing your products. I have seen a couple of case examples where businesses have launched in certain global areas and then they try to do the same rollout in, let's say, America that they did in Taiwan, and it was a completely different response. And then you have to spend more money and time going back to developing that research versus doing the research on the front end, knowing how people relate to products, how and what it means to them. Because when you're spending your money, people have a relationship with their money. So I feel like it's always deeper when people find time and find their resources to invest in you. I believe that that's a very serious type of connection. And it's really disheartening when businesses don't think about how their consumers may feel about some of the things that they may say, be it online or just in some of their press releases or in their communications. They're going back to what I was saying about the DEI, there's a lot of miscommunication because when we think about diversity, it doesn't just relate to one specific group or one specific person, because some people think that, oh, that just means that this was given because you look different or you're different than everyone else. And Steve Jobs said it best that the best idea is going to be the one to win. So, whoever is the best candidate and the best person for the job, the smartest person for the job, don't overlook them and don't overshadow them because of what they look like, because of their background, because they have this disability or they have this condition. Because when companies overlook, and it happens, we see it all the time where people get a certain job or they get something because of what they look like. And it may not always be, oh, a person in this specific category or ethnicity. It could be because this person looks like me, I want to give them the job. They may not be the best person for it, but because a person relates to them on the outside, they're automatically assuming, okay, this is the right person for the job versus who actually has the knowledge, the experience, and the capabilities to really outperform. I've again been doing some research on this topic because it goes deeper than just looking at ethnicity. It goes deeper to thinking about people that are even on the spectrum. There are neurodivergent people that can be discriminated against when someone's deciding to hire them at their organization. And so when you say that I'm going to remove my DEI efforts or I'm going to remove my stance on that, it needs to be communicated your feelings toward people that are different, that come with different backgrounds, that come with different difficulties, that make it hard for them. And those hardships, even through that, they're able to come in as their best selves and bring their best work to the table. And for someone to say, I'm not going to consider that, rightfully so, that's fine. But I feel like there is some opportunity and learning for not only companies, but entrepreneurs when we're educating our customers or we're presenting our products or we're thinking about hiring consultants or contractors to look beyond what that person's condition is, either on the outside or mentally, because we could be overlooking a large gap in space. And when I looked at the research, there's 15 to 20% of people in the United States population that are neurodivergent. And that means it's someone that can be autistic. And some people probably have autism and don't even know it. There's a guy by the name of Peter Span. He's an entrepreneur. He was able to get a job with Dell as a manager, and he was very successful in his role. But he would have never gotten the opportunity or gotten that chance if Dell, the company, the electronic company, did not consider that, okay, this is a great performer, he's great for the job, and overlook that condition that he had. If they were to say, nope, he has this, we're not even going to consider it, then they could have missed out on this person that, again, has gone on, been successful, great entrepreneur. So that's something to think about and consider, especially as we look into how these policies are rolling out. And again, it can be disheartening, it can be a letdown, but as entrepreneurs, as business minded people, it is very important to protect your mental, your spiritual, your physical, but also don't forget to do the work. Don't forget to do the research. Don't forget to also use this time as a moment of reflection and education, because you have the opportunity to educate others. We have a voice that can be spoken, and also you have power in where you decide to invest your money into things, and invest it into things that you believe about, but invest it in things that you know there's a future for it. There's going to be some sort of future outcome of possibilities, and you can control that narrative and change it. And for those people that look at things just only from one side or one angle of one person benefiting from it, think about it from a full group opportunity where people that come with different backgrounds, different ethnicities, some things beyond their control, some disabilities beyond their control. And that's what makes connecting and networking so beautiful, because you're able to exchange ideas with people that you never would have come across. And yet they're able to share things that you may not have even thought about and could have possibly been overlooked because they're different. And I just want you guys to go out there and wake. This is a wake episode where we're going to wake and we're just going to really think about our mindset. We're going to think about why and how we can keep our mindset open to new ideas and new possibilities, and being creative in our approach as well as our execution. Because I get it, whenever we're looking at new laws and companies that we love go against things that we truly believe in, I think that that can do something to people. And again, it's up to us to be able to make a stance and say our piece that, hey, this is something that we believe in, that we believe is important. It's not just about having DEI, just the wording to trigger some people. It is really about making sure people are included, ideas are heard, and it's equitably covered across all bandwidths of people, no matter where they come from. So keeping with that mindset, staying positive. I know it sounds easier said than done to think about the possibilities and about the chance that we get to be able to start fresh and stay focused on what we need to be able to bring our best selves and bring the best type of energy in our space to grow as entrepreneurs, as employees, as contractors, as freelancers, as consultants. This is a time and chance for us to have our platform and share our voice. So, whatever it is that you're up to, make sure you charge up the CEO in you, and consider this another solo episode of Wake Set Go with Mercedes.